Hey, what's going on YouTube? I am back, hopefully, posting this video. Had some technical issues for a few months that never really sorted out, so I just wanted to give myself some time to figure it out. But anyway, I'm back here trying to shoot another video in the nighttime, as you can see. And I was just inspired to shoot this topic based on the idea of decision making and our ego. And not just decision making, but the idea of when we make decisions, we second guess ourselves. Now, why do we do that? Why do we second guess ourselves? Well, in today's video, I want to approach it from the side of the ego. The ego's job in keeping us stuck where we're at, and why it causes us to second guess ourselves and really get stuck on making certain decisions. And when we've made that decision, we wonder if it is the right one, and all that energy that we spend trying to figure out what the right decision is really zapping our willpower and therefore not allowing us to make significant changes in our lives. Okay, so that's the overview of this video. So for me personally, what tends to happen and what's been happening lately is that I'm starting to notice, and I've come to the conclusion that through the many decisions that we make in our day, okay, we make somewhere up between like 200 to like 1,000 decisions, and that's in the low end. Most oftentimes it's probably higher. So basically, if we make a decision and we're taking a long time to make that decision, that's draining our willpower. So for example, if we decide what color shirt we want to wear for the day, if we have a blue shirt and we have a red shirt, and we get stuck on that decision, what if I wear red? What will happen today if I wear red? Who will I come in contact with? Will they like that shirt? How will it make me feel? What about the blue shirt? How will that one make me feel? What opportunities may that shirt lead me to? The first level is recognizing how that particular decision and the many decisions throughout the day that are either significant or not that significant. The first level is realizing that if we spend too much time getting stuck on certain decisions like that, it'll drain our energy. So we have to be mindful to just make decisions quickly and easily, because unless it's something like super significant that needs your time and energy, obviously then use the appropriate amount of mental capital to make that decision in a reasonable time. But if it's something simple, we can't get too caught up in draining our energy over making that right decision, right? So a quick tip for that, if you can pre-lay out certain decisions, like in terms of what you're going to wear for the day, if you can do that the night before, if you can already have that done and set in your mind, what that'll do is that'll save you time and energy when you decide to make that decision the next day. It's already done, and you don't have to waste time on making that decision. The same thing with like eating dinner or something, like deciding what you're going to eat for dinner. That could be a very taxing energy on your mind because you're taking so much time deciding when you're going to eat and really pondering that decision. So lay out your meals ahead of time. Have a meal plan that you're going to stick to and follow. Keep it simple, keep it easy, keep it structured, keep it very basic. If you want basic, if you don't want basic, still plan ahead. But you get what I'm saying. That's level 1 though, okay? So that's level 1. Now, and it's a good reminder. I think it's important to remind ourselves of this fact, because or else we'll get stuck in this idea of decision making, and that's something that I've been struggling with recently. So just kind of becoming mindful of that. But the point of today's video, the download that I had, is kind of the second level that happens when the ego kind of kicks in. So the ego, in terms of the first decision making, I know I'm getting looped into this first layer of it, but I think it's important that we nail it down so we can really dive into the second concept and what I want to talk about. So the ego, it may disguise itself in the form of decision making. It can add extenuating circumstances. It can add certain ideas or thoughts that can get you lost and off track so you can't make a focused and inclined decision. So the point is, just really be diligent on how much time you're spending on certain decisions and how important those decisions actually are. If they're not that important, give yourself permission to be wrong and to make mistakes, but not dwell upon what you're going to do and take too much time, because that's going to drain your energy. Okay, so once you've kind of become aware of that, the ego may then, again, your ego, it may disguise itself in the form of judgment. So going back to the example of what shirt you're going to wear, and this is happening to me quite a lot, so that's why I'm making this video. So say you're picking a shirt, right? And you pick the red shirt. And as soon as you leave your room, as soon as you leave your house, as soon as you leave your establishment, your mind will kick in. Your judgment mind will be like, dang, should I have worn that blue shirt? It'll start to play out the scenario of you wearing that blue shirt. It'll start to play out the reality of you wearing that blue shirt. Whatever decision you make, there could be one aspect to it, there could be another aspect to it. In your heart of hearts, at times, you're confident you're making a certain decision that's going to benefit you, but the ego may come in and try to just play out the other timeline that could happen by choosing the other decision. So that's the second way in which the ego will come in and try to distort your decision-making process. It'll make you judge what you've done and get you thinking about what you've missed out on or what you could have done by making another decision. So not only will you have taken the time to, in most cases, most people will take the time to really get caught up in certain decisions. They'll put too much meaning on it and they'll drain themselves out. But on top of that, the ego will come in and make them judge that. And then once they've made the decision, they'll still be thinking about that decision for many minutes and many moments longer. So, the ego it can set these traps for us in this way. It can distort our willpower by making us overanalyze and overthink a particular decision in the beginning. And then after that decision that's been made, the ego will again come in and make us judge that decision on whether or not it's the right one. So I'm sure, if you're watching this video still into the video this far, you've had certain experiences, whether big or small, that again, the ego's either hit you on that one layer in the beginning or it's hit you after the fact in that judgment. So for me, it happens in both, but right now I'm becoming aware of where it happens in that second layer. I'm able to make decisions. I'm able to kind of, okay, if I'm not sure, I'll just kind of go with it. I'll think it through if it's a big decision, but if it's relatively small, just go with it. And then I just become aware of, okay, when's that ego going to kick in and try to convince me that I'm wrong, convince me that I made the wrong decision, convince me that I'm off track, convince me that I should have went the other way. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm perfect, that I've never listened to the ego and that I've never fallen back and redoubled my efforts in making the decision. I've never gone back and picked that blue shirt when I've already picked the red shirt. Don't get me wrong, I have. I've probably done that today at some points, but the key is just becoming aware of it. And I just want to make this video to make you aware of how the ego will affect your willpower when it comes to decision making, but more importantly, the judgment and the second guessing that comes with decision making. So, one of our most powerful assets when it comes to creating the life that we want to live and making changes so we can set up our foundations to create that dream life is willpower, right? You're going to need a certain amount of energy to make and do things that you've never done before. And that's just the reality of the matter. Like, some people are living in like a spiritual fantasy where if they just feel good all the time, then things will align in a way that will bring certain endeavors into their life, certain experiences, certain drives to do certain things, which is true in one aspect. But from a nitty-gritty, practical self-development perspective, we do need a semblance of willpower through good habits, thoughts, actions, and deeds. We can give ourselves this energy to make these decisions, but we got to be mindful of where we're using this energy and not let it get stuck in certain patterns or thoughts that aren't really serving us. So this is one aspect of that. I really hope it serves you. Again, just be mindful of the decisions that you're making. Give yourself permission to screw up. I know that's not the cure-all advice. I know it's easier said than done. When I first heard that piece of advice, give yourself permission to screw up, it was very freeing and liberating, but to put it into practice is harder than it necessarily seems. But just be mindful of that. Give yourself that permission. That's a good starting point. And let's just screw up together, man. Let's just make mistakes and let's just know that it's okay. And that I know, and this is another hard part, when you do make mistakes, you're actually learning. And I know for me, that's hard to fathom and it's hard to really take in as a very experiential concept, but it's true. When you are making mistakes, you are really learning. So just keep that in mind. And without dragging on this video too long, I hope you got the message. Much love. Hope you have a great week and hope you are able to make decisions at a fairly reasonable rate and know that you are doing exactly what it is that you need to be doing in order to live your best life. So have a great day. I hope you like this video and I will surely talk to you soon. Take care.